a May Q&A video coming up soon, but a lot of you guys have asked some questions about a period, and I realized that I never really got back into it again, so I wanted to talk today about periods, how to get them back, what to do in regards of food and exercise and sleep and hormones and stress and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. As you guys know, or maybe you don't know if you weren't following me for that long, I decided to document my progress of me getting my period back after losing it for a long time. Now I wanted to make it clear to you guys that I lost my period before I even went vegan. So my period really doesn't have much to do with my veganism, because I know that it can put some of you girls off who have not gone into veganism yet, thinking that girls who go vegan end up losing their period like that's a normal thing, because there's so many of us who have lost our period while being a vegan. But that really has more to do with girls who have actually had eating disorders, come onto the vegan lifestyle, heal their mind and their body with a vegan lifestyle, and have gotten their period back or are still trying to get their period back at this point. I lost my period not because of being vegan, but because I had restricted for so long and I got to such an unhealthy body weight and I exercised too much and too hard that my body was like, all right, let's shut down the reproductive system because we just need to survive right now. And that was way before I found veganism. That was way before I became vegetarian even. That was like years ago when my eating disorder was first started out. And then eventually I gained more weight when I was going through my recovery, still before I became vegan. And then I went on a birth control because my gynecologist said that that would be a really good way to help regulate my periods, and then I could get off it later on. But I ended up using birth control for like 8 to 9 months when I was in my first year of college. And then in my first year of college, that's when I started to become more enlightened and educated on a vegan lifestyle. And then I learned about how birth control is actually really bad for your body and how it basically just plays around with your hormones and it fucks up your like hormone signaling systems and everything, and it just confuses your body. And I thought, you know, I love my body enough to say, no, I don't want to trick it. I don't want it to think that I'm manipulating it. I'm just going to let it do its own thing. I'm not going to try to control my body like that. So I decided to get off birth control, and for the next 4 or 5 months, nothing happened. I didn't get a period, and a lot of people told me that, oh, like, it's normal, don't worry, your hormones are just like rebalancing themselves out, just keep doing what you're doing, it's fine. But what I realized was that my body actually needed a little bit more fat and weight on it, and I needed to tone it down with the exercise. Now honestly, I don't know if stopping exercise is what really helped my body or if gaining more weight really helped my body, but stopping exercise actually did help me gain more weight. That's because my body wasn't burning the same amount of energy that it was when I was exercising a lot. And by exercising a lot, I mean I just ran really long distances. I was a long distance runner. I ran every single day and it was really fun and I loved it. It wasn't this thing where I felt stressed out or anxious because I couldn't run someday or because I really needed to. It was just like it was a healthy thing in my mind for me to be running like that. And I knew when to take my rest days, and I knew when to run short and easy, and I knew when I could run fast, and I knew that I just needed to fuel up, and I did. I was eating almost 3,000 calories a day when I was running a lot, but I think I needed to eat more and I needed to gain more weight, because at the end of it, when I got my period, I had gained 15 pounds and I've been 15 pounds heavier ever since. And no matter if I exercise more or less or eat more or less, my body just stays at this constant weight, and I've been at this weight for 3 or 4 months, and my period has been coming consistently. Now I want to talk about what I would have done differently, and maybe that'll help you figure out what you want to do with your little period pathway. Oh, that's cute, period pathway. I don't want to instruct you guys and say this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, but what I did was I stopped exercising, and you can see why in my other video, like should I stop exercising? It'll be in the same playlist as this video. But I stopped exercise completely and I just did yoga. And I know you guys are gonna say, well, isn't that some sort of exercise? But to me, when I say exercise, I mean sweating. I mean my heart rate going fast. I mean jumping, biking, like anything to get my heart rate up and sweat and my muscles pumping. Like, to me, that was exercise. So I did yoga and I did walk at the gym. because I do think that movement to your body daily is still really important, and it's important to stay stress-free when it comes to that also, because I started to realize that without exercise and without moving around and just sitting complacently in my room and just eating copious amounts of food, I felt very uncomfortable. And it was also hard for me to sleep because I had so much energy from my food, and I didn't feel tired from how I would normally feel tired if I had exercised that same day. So it was harder for me to, you know, like go to sleep. And I know sleep is really important for trying to get your period back, because sleep is when your hormones start to rebalance themselves and when your body just resets. So sleep was also important, and that's not something that I was getting when I was just sitting at my desk all day or sitting and watching YouTube videos and not moving my body. So I decided that I would go do yoga every day, and I would go to the gym and walk for like an hour or something on the treadmill. Nothing to get me sweating, nothing to make me, you know, feel like my heart is pumping, just some movement. And I went to the gym because it was like snowing outside because it was like winter time. But when it started to clear up and stuff, I started to go outside for a walk for like an hour, and I would just talk on the phone, listen to music, listen to ebooks, but really it was just anything to get me not stressed out about the fact that I couldn't sleep and the fact that I wasn't doing anything in my room. If you can't really give up physical movement, I would suggest going to do some yoga or do what I did and go to the gym and go walk or walk outside. If I had known that all I needed to do was gain weight also for myself, I would have probably not given up exercise completely. I would have like done some weights, like heavy weight training, because I still would be able to work my muscles and feel very happy and feel that exercise high without putting my body into too much stress like I would if I were doing HIIT every day or sprints every day or running long distances every day. I would also just up the fats immediately. I know in the beginning I tried to just up calories and just keep eating a lot of food that I would normally eat if I were still also exercising. So that meant like huge amounts of rice and huge amounts of potatoes and large like bowls of banana ice cream every day. Looking back, I would have just upped the fat like to the extreme, and I did that, okay, maybe not to the extreme, but more than I would have normally eaten. So maybe like an avocado every single day and tahini with literally every fucking thing that I ate. I started doing that like 2 months into it, and a month into doing that, or like 2 months into doing that, I got my period. So really just upping the fat and gaining weight was the key for me, and I wish I did that in the beginning so I didn't feel so stressed out about like the exercise thing and like not getting my period. I really did start to get very impatient about it. I was like, what am I doing wrong? What else do I need to be doing? If only I'd come back from the future and said, look, you can ease up on your exercise, don't stress out about doing zero exercise at all, just make sure you up the fat like crazy. And I know a lot of you guys will say, I told you, Amanda, I told you all you needed to do was eat more avocados. And you guys are so right, because I just needed to eat more food and gain more weight, and that's how I got my period back, and that's how it's been staying here. And I noticed my last period was a little light because I started to exercise more and eat less fat. So I decided like to stop exercise for like to not do it so much and then up my fat and see if that'll work out. And so I guess now it's just like a guessing game for me and playing around to see what works with my body and what doesn't and what I need to do and adjusting with those levels. So yeah, that is basically all that I would suggest for myself, like looking back, and those are the things that I think would be most helpful for me. I hope you guys draw some inspiration from this. Let me know if these are the things that you did, or it's something that you want to try out, or maybe other suggestions that you would maybe give past Amanda to get her period sooner instead of, you know, like dragging it on for months and months and months. And yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Please like it if you did, and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and I will see you next time. Bye!